Welcome to Leadership Decoded, where we discuss practical leadership strategies and techniques that can improve your ability to lead at work and in your everyday life. I'm your host, Dr. Will Ramey. I'm a former U.S. Army officer, executive education adjunct professor, team development workshop facilitator, speaker, and leadership coach to Fortune 100 companies. Today, we're diving into a topic that can breathe new life into your team dynamics: creativity in teams. Creativity isn't just for artists. It's a powerful tool that can spark innovation, problem solving, and fresh perspectives. Get ready to explore the world of creativity within teams, its impact on driving breakthroughs, and actionable strategies to foster a creative culture that inspires your team's best ideas. Let's dive in. What is creativity, and why is it important in business? Before we immerse ourselves in creative strategies, let's understand the essence of creativity in teams. Creativity involves generating novel ideas, approaches, and solutions to challenges. Creativity can be defined as the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems or communicating with others. In business, it's not enough for the idea to be novel. It has to have value and meet the demands of the situation. Now think about that. Creativity, when you come up as an artist, is making something, crafting something, whether you're a musician or you're a painter. But creativity in business is not just enough to be novel. It's not just enough to be unique. It's got to actually have a value-solving additive property to it. So 3 reasons why people are motivated to be creative in business. The first is that you need to adapt to a varied and complex work environment. The work environment changes, and it changes at a very fast pace. Second, there's a need to communicate ideas and values. You need to be able to share that to get somebody else to see that this idea or this solution solves a problem and is either more effective or more efficient for your business. And the third is a need to solve problems. That's where people are motivated to be creative in business. You may be thinking to yourself right now, I'm not a creative person, or I don't feel very creative. The good news is that creativity is a process, and not just a personality trait that you have or don't have. You don't have to feel creative to be creative. You can engage in processes to bring about idea generation, to think differently, and perspective taking on the road to a creative solution. Embracing creativity in teams isn't just about having fun. It's about unlocking your team's collective potential and cultivating an environment where innovation thrives. When you nurture creativity, you inspire your team members to think outside the box, embrace different perspectives, and explore unconventional solutions. I want to share with you a time where we were most creative as a team member, and I was a team leader. When I was deployed to Iraq, I led a maintenance recovery team. Our mission was to go out and pick up damaged or destroyed vehicles that were either blown up or mechanically disabled on the battlefield. So we had to be creative because no 2 missions were ever the same. One of the areas where my team came up with what we thought was a very innovative solution to a problem was through our rules of engagement. We had a varied layer of decisions we had to make and steps we had to take before we actually had to engage with the enemy. So one of the steps was to fire off a flare in the direction of our enemy who was in traffic. We had a threat that was based on vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices. But when you mix in a civilian population, we want to make sure we take the time to ensure that we have an actual threat versus just somebody who is trying to get through traffic. One of the steps was to fire off a flare in the direction of the vehicle. So a military flare has a tube and a firing cap. You put the cap on the bottom, press it in, and the flare fires off. My team thought it would be a good idea to save time to put the cap on the bottom and affix it with electrical tape. I thought it was a good idea as well, because as you know, sometimes decisions, a split-second difference, can cost you your life, or in business, can cost you time, money, and clients. So as we're traveling down the road, we get to our recovery site, which was off the road in the sand, and I hear a pop, and see fire starting to come out of one of my vehicles, and I rush over. My soldiers barrel out of that vehicle, left, right, up, down, coughing and spewing. Nobody was hurt. And I found out what happened as I popped the back of the Humvee open, grabbed the fire extinguisher and put out the fire, was the flare that they had creatively prepped went off inside their vehicle. Now, we cleaned up, we solved our problem, and we got back to our operating base safely. When we did our debrief, we brought the idea up that, okay, what was the intent of that creative solution? Did it solve the problem, or did it create another one? But we didn't just slam my soldiers for coming up with an idea that didn't work. I didn't just reprimand them for something that went wrong. We learned from it. I gave my soldiers the space to come up with creative solutions. We identified a problem, and we iterated. At that point on, we changed our tactics. We didn't stop. We evolved and got better. That is the power of creative space, allowing your team members to come up with their own solutions, recognizing curiosity, and moving forward together. So, what are some actionable steps that you can take to supplant a culture of creativity within your team to ignite that spark of innovative solutions in the face of complex problems? Here are 5 tactics that you can use today to foster creativity amongst your team members. 1, create a safe and supportive environment. This ensures that team members feel comfortable expressing their ideas without fear of criticism or judgment. It encourages open and respectful communication, so you have the floor to be seen and heard without judgment. 2, set clear goals and objectives. Clearly defining your goals and objectives of projects so that team members understand the purpose and direction of the team. This leads to more effective brainstorming and ideas. 3, give your team space to explore solutions. Allowing team members the room to explore different approaches and solutions to challenges without you micromanaging gives them ownership of their work. And ownership increases engagement and commitment from your team. 4, encourage diverse perspectives. Embrace diversity within your team. Different backgrounds and experiences leads to a wider range of ideas. Create opportunities for cross-functional collaboration so that you can bring together varied expertise. Pull people from different teams, pull people from different backgrounds, pull people from different areas within your organization. Make them feel included, bring them together, and leverage their diversity. And 5, reward and recognize your team. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate innovative ideas and solutions, whether big or small. Consider implementing a recognition program to showcase creative contributions. Make sure you have an environment where you celebrate curiosity. Remember, encouraging creativity is an ongoing effort that requires your constant, consistent support and reinforcement. Without you, creativity will not thrive. By creating a culture that values and nurtures creative thinking, you can unlock your team's potential for innovation and drive positive change within your organization. Otherwise, you may be stuck in the status quo, and this is where things stay the same. Things don't progress, and eventually, your competitors will pass you by. By embracing creativity in your teams, you're nurturing an environment where innovation flourishes and groundbreaking ideas come to life. Thanks for tuning in to Leadership Decoded here at the Loop Internet Studios. If you enjoyed today's episode, please save and share with your fellow leaders across all of our social media channels. We welcome any comments and reviews or topics that you'd like to see in future episodes. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Dr. Will Ramey. And if you are a business owner or employee interested in curated training solutions to impact your business for the better, email me at will@onthestacks.com. I'm Will Ramey, and I'll see you the next time you press play.